Welcome to the Insightful Player podcast. My name is Chrissy Carew. I'm the host and founder of Insightful Player and the author of Insightful Player, Football Pros Lead a Bold Movement of Hope. I partner with NFL players to transform our world to be inclusive, kinder, and more loving. In each episode, I interviewed NFL players and NFL vets who overcame tremendous obstacles to reach their dream of playing in the NFL. And I'm also a transformational coach. I empower my clients to embrace their dreams, to transform their world and the world around them. And we want you to believe in your dreams and encourage you to commit to them now. Humanity is in trouble. We need you. We all need to do this. We need to embrace our dreams and share them with others so we can have an immediate positive impact on making our world a much kinder place. We invite you to become an important part of our bold movement of hope. Watch this podcast, share it with others, and let us know what you want to see and hear to support you in becoming an insightful player in your life. Thank you. Welcome back to the Insightful Player podcast. Today we have a really special guest on, Kyle Arrington. I met Kyle, I think, about 10 years ago while he was playing for the Patriots. He's a Super Bowl champ. He played for the Patriots and the Ravens. And he and his wife, Roshanda, started this amazing foundation called Evolve. And they are just amazing. They offer all kinds of opportunities for kids to be empowered and grow, especially in underprivileged communities. In addition, Kyle is also an analyst in the post games for the Commanders on Sundays or whatever day they play. And he's a first-degree black belt, which is pretty impressive. I think Kyle is an amazing, humble, giving, loving, compassionate, and very generous person. He loves to give. He's a beautiful soul, and he's dedicated to his family, and community, and he's a follower of Christ. Welcome, Kyle.
Oh, Chrissy, thank you so much for that kind and warm introduction.
Oh, you're easy to root for, that's for sure.
I have to cash app you after this is over.
Please do. All right. So one of the things I mentioned in your bio, by the way, everybody, I could mention a lot more because Kyle's such a giver and he just gives so much to his community. But I thought it would be fun just to start off with finding out how we got started with the martial arts because he's a first-degree black belt now. Can you share that story?
Yeah. So it was actually one of the first sport, organized sport I got into as a youth. And, I was just one of those, easily distracted kid. Mine was kind of all everywhere, focused on everything else, but what I'm supposed to be focused on, at any given moment. Mischievous, so whatever case. And then not a trouble youth or anything like that. But my parents, stuck me in Taekwondo, and it helped me with discipline, focus, and you could see that not only on the practicing on the mat and in the dojo and things like that, but you also see it transfer into school, at home. Just outside of, like I said, outside of the space as well. So it was like I said, the first sport I got into, first opportunity I got to experience, like I said, organized sport, and like I said, football was right after that, and I say it probably put me on that the course or trajectory to be a better. Better listener, better student, student in the classroom, but student of the game as well when it comes to playing organized sports. So I'm very, very grateful for that, for the opportunity and that experience.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting. It's always been so appealing. I've never tried it, but who knows, right? It's never too late, right?
Yeah. That was back when used to do a split.
A split?
That's when I used to be able to do a split. Don't ask me to do it now.
A split? Like that with your legs?
Yeah. Like Jean-Claude Van Damme. That type split.
Oh wow! Well,
you asked me to do it now. I'm not getting back up.
Oh my God, I can match you on that. I used to be able to do a Russian split where I was my legs were completely flat. But that was long ago. I can't do that.
You still got it.
So you had an unusual, history getting into the NFL. and you had some injuries that you felt very discouraged, but you overcame them, before you came into the NFL. And you ended up going, to two teams before the Patriots. And Bill Belichick raved about you, which I am a Patriots fan, so that's like so rare. And he was so thrilled to have you on the team. Can you share a little bit what led you up to that, getting on the Patriots team?
Yeah, say what they say. Life is it's about the journey, right? And
Yeah.
life sure is that. It is a journey. As you mentioned, the path. I guess I would say I did take the path less traveled. Well, I mean, a lot of guys do. Now we're all not first round top draft picks, or even drafted in general. And a lot of players do find success being undrafted free agents, because I mean we're used to failing early. I would say would be my biggest takeaway from that. When you fail, when you fail early, kind of gives you an early opportunity to show who you are as a person, and kind of what you're made up of. And so I went through battle a lot of injuries in high school, shoulder dislocations, torn labrums, things like that. And I didn't think football was actually going to be for me, just because sophomore, junior year, battling through that. And then I felt like it was I wasn't as far as academics go, I did enough to get by. So I realized that I probably wasn't going to get an academic scholarship. And so therefore I didn't want my parents to pay for school, for college. So therefore I put all my eggs in one basket with football, going into my senior year, where I did whatever it took that whole off season, bigger, faster, stronger. And really, like I said, I realized I wasn't a prodigy, wasn't the most talented person out there. But one thing I told myself was I would not be outworked. And that's the kind of mindset I adopted right then and there, right through my 10-year NFL career.
Yeah, your work ethic is through the roof. And that's something that usually pays big dividends to anyone that establishes that work ethic and fails early, is willing, that was so great. You were willing to pick yourself up, because I know you were discouraged in the beginning with the injuries, and then getting on a practice squad before you were, full-time with the Patriots and then the Ravens. But your work ethic is amazing. And what was it that helped you get back up when you fell down? Because you're really good at that, Kyle.
Well, just shows you, like I said, when you fail early, and it just kind of shows you how resilient you truly are. We talk about a lot of hard work and things like that, but we don't talk about, I guess, the softer qualities or intangibles, if you will. And that's and one being no bigger than resiliency, because I guess it's something my wife says a lot. Life is gonna like you. No matter any given moment, any given situation. I mean, look what we all been through. The past few years, as far as the pandemic is concerned, and it's caused a lot of it's affected us a lot, directly, indirectly, and a number of different ways. So that's just, like I said, one thing we all have in common now. But we have to pick ourselves up, whatever, keep every single day, keep one foot in front of the other, whatever this new normal is turning itself into look like and going to be. We have to adapt. Adaptability is another key, like I said, just intangible that you have to have, whether it's for me on the field, but especially even off of it.
Right, and I bet you that's something you're teaching those wonderful kids that you work with your wonderful foundation.
I thought you were talking about my kids. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm trying, but they're just
well, your kids too.
They're just as hard-headed as I was when I was their age.
Yeah, and can you tell us more about that foundation that you and Roshanda started? It sounds like
absolutely.
Beautiful work.
We'll call it the Evolve Foundation, and one of the things that was even in New England that I remember was harped on by Bill and the coaches, and just the culture there was not only being a pillar on the field, it was about being a pillar off of the field. Because what we do on the football field, it really everything we do on the football field transcends the football field. As far as just they regard, athletes are held in, and so it's all about. And then I guess another piece of it, I can backpedal for a second. Another piece of it would be, like, one thing my dad would always say, we kept in mind, was that I would keep in mind is that you always leave a person's house better than how you found it. So I kind of took that micro phrase into a macro approach, if you will, in terms of, so it's all about leaving this this earth, this world a better place in which, which we inherited. And so, so my wife and I, we started our foundation a few years, I think our 4th year running now. And with the idea to encourage, develop and empower our youth and the next generation, to give them the tools, opportunities, and resources. Because I mean, I lived it and I experienced it. I wasn't, like I said, once again, I was no prodigy, but I had opportunities. I had a support system, and I almost had that blanket, that confidence in which I knew no matter, as long as I gave it my best effort, I felt like I was going to be okay. And that's the support we want to give all of our kids out here in our community, especially the ones who don't have the resources, because we'd be naive to think all of our communities are built the same.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful how you give back that way. You're very, very driven to give back. You really take advantage of that wonderful, huge platform you have. And I want to thank you for that, because we need more people, working with our children like you do. It's really something else. And you also wrote a children's book, and the proceeds go to your foundation. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. Portion of the proceeds go towards the foundation. And so the idea behind that, well, first, the book is called Piece It Together, and which was meant to be I guess a double entendre. So literally, the kids, they're using STEM toys in the project, and my wife and I are very firm advocates behind that and the benefits it provides to, I guess, to the learning experience. And so they're literally using STEM toys to, piece these designs together. But also, it's something we do in our everyday lives that we, really don't think about, because one thing that we like to say is, individually we can go fast, but together we can go far. And that the meaning behind that is that, hey, I'm sure I could be successful in my own right, just as you could be successful in your own right. But if we work together, especially we have a common goal, and for the common good, I mean, there's no limit, no limit, no ceiling on the the things we can accomplish. And so that's the main message we try to get behind as far as that project goes.
That's awesome. Unity is so important. One of my clients always said, no one's as smart as all of us, which is really true. So you have this drive to contribute. It's really something else. And can you tell us what it is about this drive you have to make our world a better place? How did you get there?
I was just funny you mentioned that. I was watching, not to get off too far off topic, I was watching the stand-up, right? David Arnold, he recently passed, by the way. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's hard to find good stand-up these days, by the way. Stand-up special, so it's called it's Ain't for the Weak. And so he was saying, like, he graduated at the bottom of his class, 1.8 GPA, but he always felt like he had this thing inside of him. And so I felt like, not that, I could share that experience as far as, like, like I said, I was a good, decent, did decent in school. But it's as far as, like I said, once again, I was never a prodigy in any given facet in life, at least I felt like. But I always had a certain drive, had a certain work ethic. I just had a certain thing, I had a thing inside of me. And it's my job to, make sure my kids understand, like, my kids, or all of our kids understand that, hey, sure, look, talent, I'm sure all of our kids are talented, talent will only take you so far. But if you are, you have drive, you are literally going places, no pun intended, but literally going places. So I guess, as far as myself, I don't, it's always, competitive at nature as well. You don't get to, I guess, the NFL, play for a decade and, have the career, have just in general, play the best there is, the best there will be as far as that level go, and not be competitive and driven.
And you make your life bigger than yourself. And do you think that makes it easier to reach your goals?
Yeah, because I feel we have to, because it's more than just, it's about more than just ourselves. Because if you think about it, like, I guess maybe the best way to put it is, especially if you're a parent, or at least you will be, the minute, I'm sure, because you relate, the minute you have a kid, what do family members, friends, what do they all say when you come to visit? Are you bringing the babies?
Right.
Where are the babies? So at that given point, you realize it's not about you anymore.
Right.
It's not. It's about that next generation. It's all about that next generation. So as and I think perspective goes a long way. So like I said, I'm now older. Had a lot of teachable moments, if you will, in my life. And like I said, you gain perspective, especially if you become, once you become a parent. And so that's just all a part of it.
Yeah, being a parent, I mean, it's amazing because you want to leave this world a better place than we found it. Just like you want someone's, like your father said, that home better than you found it, right? And
I cannot go over my parents' house and bring bring him a bottle of Henny at least. That's his go-to. He's not a drinker like that. Don't get me wrong, but just some type of housewarming, get some gift, that means something to that particular person. So right. Hey, I cannot come over and at least drop him off a bottle of Hennessy.
That's nice. You have a great relationship with your parents. So we're at a tough place in our culture, and by the way, you inspired me to include the word inclusion in our tagline, because Insightful Player is also all about making our culture more inclusive, kinder, and more loving. And so I thank you for this. I put inclusion first because that's so important. And what are your thoughts about transforming our culture, and why do you think this is so important that we all, every one of us, take a role, no matter how small, in being a big part of this movement?
I guess to tackle the first aspect of that, as far as inclusion goes, because if everyone doesn't feel included, we see what those ramifications look like, in terms of division, in terms of the violence, in terms of, just the bullying, because we're all at the end of the day, where, football players or not, fans, football players, fans alike, we're all human beings. And, it's, physical, emotional, psychological, everything's connected. And so you just never know what somebody is going through. And I would lean on the side of if I could make someone's day better as opposed to worse, it would, I would imagine it would be, better for the greater good for all of us. And it could be little things. She's like holding the door for someone else, complimenting someone, just saying hi, how you doing, being personable. I don't know. You never know how that can affect someone. That can make someone's day and put them in a better mood, or maybe put them in a better trajectory in life. You just never know. It's those micro moments each and every day.
Yeah, you're a big proponent of that. The small things can make the biggest difference. And often we look back on our life, so I hear, it's those small, precious things like that we remember, It's not how much money we made or what job we had. It's more about connecting and touching.
So Maya Angelou said it best. People will forget what you did, what you said or what you did, but they will never forget how you make them feel.
Absolutely. So do you have any suggestions for our viewers and listeners of what they can do to contribute? What kind of small things or ideas do you might have for them to become a part of this movement?
I would just say, just pay it forward, and whatever that looks like to you. We all have our way of giving back. Mm-hmm. And people talk about all the time. I guess best way I could relate it to my wife. Once I was done, my wife would say, "Well, why don't you get into coaching?" I said, "Man, I told her I barely got patience for our kids. You get along 25, 30 more kids. But my hat's off to all those coaches out there at the youth level, at the high school level, collegiate, professional as well, and especially the youth level, and because that's the age where it's just so important in developing our kids. So so my way is just get through the foundation. Through what I'm doing now as far as I have the fitness brand, broadcasting, that's my way, staying close to the game as well and giving back. So whatever I say all that to say, like whatever your way of paying it forward and giving it back, because we all have a lot to offer. And one thing I also say to add it to that is it's never about the medium, it's about the message. So whether that's me putting out a book, whether that's me, broadcast, whether that's me playing in a movie, that's me playing on the football field, whether that's you and I having this conversation, everything is all about the message and the story and the message you're trying to tell.
Absolutely. That is so true. And I forgot to mention to everyone, Kyle's in a movie on Prime, and he got nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Can you talk about that? Because that was a really good film about bullying, right?
I don't know who they paid for that, but hey, I'll take it. Not yet. So the movie, they paid somebody off, but the movie is called Hope Lives. It's an amazing project. It just came out on Amazon just a few months back. So on Amazon right now. It's an anti-bullying project. The director, Anthony Hackett, Sunset Friday Entertainment. I appreciate the opportunity to be in a movie of that type of, with that kind of message. We just talked about, we just alluded to that kind of message in a story to tell. So it's very timely because it's everything involves, even including the way bullying happens and takes place in the various forms. And so to have that out there. And for people to look at, receive, and see whether you're a bullier or you've been bullied. It's very important. Like I said, once again, perspective is everything and goes a long way. And it's just obviously it's an anti-bullying project, but it also gives great threads on forgiveness and of course hope. A movie can't be called Hope without and Hope Lives without being a great component of hope and faith within the project as well.
That's great. I keep meaning to watch that movie. I'll have to see it. So thank you for the reminder. And by the way, in your fitness company, you have those wonderful, inspiring videos up there. Yeah. And I saw one today called Courage. I'm like, wow. I mean, I highly recommend anyone to check those out. You're really exciting. And we'll include your website links at the bottom of this program so people can go visit everything.
I appreciate that, Chrissy.
All right. Well, you have someone that you really care about, that you believe in, and who inspires you, that you want to shout out for. Who is that?
That would be none other than New England. New England, y'all know him. Yeah, you guys know him. You see him every day. You mistake him for a milk dud, but that's Devin McCourty. Now you mistaken for a milk dud or raisinette, but none other than Devin McCourty. That's my guy. That's my brother. Such a great guy. Him and Jason, honestly, they obviously two peas in the pod. They come as a pair. But Devin and Jason, they do such amazing work wherever the community, all the communities they've been in, whether it's New England, with now Jason and I'm still in Tennessee, Miami, their hometown, New Jersey, New York area, wherever they go, all their communities, it's all one. It's all one. And so they do such, like I said, such amazing work and such amazing just role models. I guess I would shout them out.
Yeah, they do a lot of community service work for sure. I mean, they're so dedicated, and they've done a lot with sickle cell, haven't they?
Correct. You talk about, once again, being a pillar on and off the field. I mean, I can't, think of none other, than those two.
Well, everybody, I hope we can get Devin and Jason on the show because they're both insightful players, which would be great. So, my goodness, how can people reach you, Kyle?
So the social media, my tag is at Air24. So that's ARR, the number 2 and 4 spelled out. You can see all the great work we're doing as far as the Evolve Foundation. Check us out at www.theevolvefoundation.org. Check our fitness brand, American Fitness. That's www.american.fitness. Check out my personal page, Air24. So that's ARR, the number 2 and the number 4.com. So air24.com. My cell phone. No, I'm kidding. But,
your address? No.
Yeah. My social. No, let me stop.
Yeah, good. Well, I just want to thank you. It's such a treat to know you, and you're doing such beautiful work in the world. We need more people like you. You inspire all those around you. It's just amazing. So thank you so much for coming on today, and it's an honor to have you as an insightful player.
Chrissy, yeah, I appreciate the opportunity once again, and I'm doing my part.
Yes, you are, in a very big way. So everyone, well, thank you for joining us today, and until next time, go out and put a smile on someone's face. Bye-bye. The entire Insightful Player podcast initiative is dedicated to the late Tom Constantino. Tom Constantino was my PR consultant. He was over the moon fabulous. He was really an exceptional human being. And Insightful Player wouldn't have made it to where it is now if it wasn't for Tom. So Tom, up there in heaven, I just want you to know you're going to live in my heart forever. And I am forever grateful for you. Thank you.